Tonight for the Colorado Rockies. You may recall when he came back last August from battling testicular cancer, his first start, and it was a magnificent one, was against these Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, back in July, who can forget that? Because for Chad and everybody around here, it was a special moment. We know what it means to come back from battling cancer. But I look at the performance that night more than anything. It was 7 innings. He only gave up 6 hits, 0 runs. He got a no decision. 0 walks, 2 strikeouts, but the important thing, the Rockies won, and then also Chad Bettis won, because he won not only for himself, but every other cancer survivor. And I think there's still a little bit of that, I'm sure, when he goes out on the mound, when he faces these Atlanta Braves, that he kind of remembers back to last year, and there's still something special there for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he's going to be facing the hottest offense right now in baseball. These Atlanta Braves have scored 56 runs in their first 7 games.
Well, it's time now for the win. Power the bats down, and this is brought to you by Pizza Ranch. We see they scored 56 runs, most in the major leagues this season. You have to go back to the Yankees in '03 that scored 61, but it also is a franchise record in the modern era. They had a few teams back in the 1800s that would score more in the first 7 games, but these Atlanta Braves coming out of the gate, they are smoking hot.
They went 4 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Normally you say, that's unbelievable. It actually moved their batting average down because they were hitting .450 in such circumstances coming into the ball game. So they are red hot, and Chad Bettis will try to cool them off. When we come back, we have a very interesting tidbit you don't want to miss on Trevor Story. A few minutes in front of first pitch tonight, the Rockies and Atlanta Braves. And Trevor Story will be playing shortstop again tonight. How about this? Check out this little tidbit. Last night, he hits a home run, which went 443 feet. It's one of the longest home runs in baseball this year. Did you know among shortstops through 250 games, because that's what he arrives at tonight. Actually, it was last night. Tonight's 251. He has hit more home runs than Nomar Garcia-Parra in his first 250. A-Rod, Ernie Banks, Carlos Correa. How about that? Pretty interesting stuff. He's in the lineup naturally at shortstop tonight. The Rockies getting ready to take on Atlanta. It's a beautiful night and much, much warmer. Come on back to Coors Field with us. You will see it for long. This is not only uplifting for the Rockies as an organization. So many other people have been lifted through his fight. So many people who are going through their own fight. Chad Bettis will take the hill for the first time since last September. And that is see you later, strike three. That's like a father right there. Proud of his kid. Tonight was all about Chad Bettis in his return, and he was sensational.
Surround yourself with people that are positive and know that, we're into this together. I'm done, hopefully, with it. I think at the same time, it's never really done. You're always fighting for someone next to you.
What an inspiration Chad Bettis was to his family, to his teammates, to this organization, and to so many others who battle cancer each and every day. And he bounds his way to the Coors Field mound, his second home. He has always pitched well here at 20th and Blake. And it's interesting, we talk about the ties with Atlanta last August when he returned to face the Braves and somehow threw 7 shutout innings. How about this? His first career appearance in the big leagues was also against the Atlanta Braves.
He has been spectacular against Atlanta. His last 3 starts against Atlanta here at home. He's got a no decision and 2 wins, and he's pitched at least 6 innings in all of those. No decision, or excuse me, a win in San Diego. It goes 5 innings. He kind of bobbed and weaved his way through that ball game. The first 3 innings, it was a real struggle for Chad. The next 2 were much, much better. He just had trouble locating all of his pitches. He did have 4 walks in that affair, which is the most walks since 2016, but then he found a way to survive and get through the 5, and the ball club responded with the W. So for Chad, it's going to be more of the same tonight as far as his pitches that he's going to throw. he obviously wants to locate better, and I think locate better with the first pitch fastball, because that's important to not only Chad, but every starting pitcher. And we've seen the problems early on in this season with some of the starters and their inability to locate, and it's caused some high walk totals, and therefore they've given up a lot of runs in the first inning.
Well, they've been outscored 13-6 in the first inning. Just take the number 13. 13 runs against in 8 ball games. And it's not like, okay, well, they had one awful inning and that's where most of the runs came. They have given up a number of runs on several occasions in the first inning. So they have to move past that, throw up a 0. It gets your offense to the bat rack quickly. And you know, when you have a 1-2-3 first and you're playing defense and 3 or 4 minutes later you're already in your dugout, it energizes you.
Well, you're so energized just to start the ball game. So when that happens, then you're like, it's like, I can't wait to go hit.
And we're going to win the first inning. That's on the outside corner to Enciarte. It's in there. 1 ball, 1 strike, 55 degrees, or basically 30 degrees warmer than it was yesterday at first pitch. And that's a late time call that was awarded by Bill Welke, who's the crew chief. I always say it's the hardest thing for an umpire.
Yeah,
when you hear time, you know, you naturally are going to yell time. But Chad was well into his delivery. So he'll reset. And here's the 1-1. That misses. 2-1.
Well, we know Chad likes to work fast. When he works fast, he's got a good tempo. The defense is engaged behind him. I mean, there's not a whole lot of extra wasted time for Chad.
This ball is hammered to right. It's going to kiss off the top of the wall. Cargo to second, a little bit offline, and it's a leadoff double. Right now, the Braves are in fuego. They are barreling everything up. Here's the Southwest batting order for Brian Snitker's group. Ozzie Albies hit a first inning home run yesterday. Freddie Freeman seems like he's walking twice every game. That's probably because he is walking twice every game. Markakis, Preston Tucker, Dansby Swanson drove in 5 yesterday. Ryan Flaherty, Carlos Perez doing the catching. And then the 13-year vet Anibal Sanchez. Albies takes a strike. It was a special day for Ozzie Albies yesterday, not only because he hit a first inning home run, and not only because he's the youngest player in baseball at barely over 21. He had never seen snow before.
Snow. He was taking pictures, thought it was the neatest thing.
2 strikes. So an 0-2 count on Albies. Enciarte with great speed at second base.
Well, they tried to sneak a fastball by him inside yesterday, and he had none of that. This is one he ripped for a home run. I think sliders, you can get him down and in, especially with the runner at second base, because you're thinking trying to pull the ball. So what do? You want to get that bat head started sooner. So that's a pitch that if you can work it down and in, that you can get him to swing over the top of.
That's down low, but does not induce a swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Albies listed at 5'8" and 165 pounds.
Let's see what they're doing with runners in scoring position. 443. Last year they were 272 as a team,
which is pretty good.
Yeah. This
is a comebacker. Bettis is going to hold Enciarte 1 out. Nice job by Chad. Let's take a look at the Rockies with the gloves. Parra is in left, Blackman in center, Cargo's in right. Nolan's got 5 Gold Gloves, now a platinum one. Trevor Story was in the conversation for a Gold Glove last year. DJ won his 2nd a year ago. And Ian Desmond doing a nice job at first. And again, Tony Walters has the gear on. Here's Freddie Freeman. Freddie is 7 for 8 this year with runners in scoring position.
875. Last year, not too shabby at 346. I mean, that's a really good number. And for his career, he's over 300. That's why he's hit 3 and 4 in the Braves lineup pretty much his whole career.
Shortens up on the bat. And you think back to guys who choke up in recent memory. I mean, guys used to do it years ago, but nobody does it anymore. But Barry Bonds did it.
Bonds is the name that comes to everybody's mind now.
That's in 2-0. This guy's such a tough out. His career high in walks is 90, which is a big number. He's on pace to blow that away this year. And I think the way their lineup is comprised, he's going to walk more than 100 times because there's not a lot of protection around him.
No, you go back to 2014. That's when he had the 90 walks.
2-1 on Freeman.
But can he take that same approach, that same mindset all season long? I know it's easy to do early on, as you're saying, well, they might not pitch to him. Does he get frustrated and start to expand the zone as the season wears on?
That pitch at the top of the Subaru strike zone, but not awarded to Bettis. 3-1. He'll be real careful here because if you lose him,
still have to double play.
You get the double play possibility with Markakis on deck. 3-2.
They went with the changeup, and that's not where Chad wanted it.
Leadoff double by Enciarte. Albies hit a comebacker. There's one out. 3-2. Swung on and missed. Big strikeout there. Chad went right after him.
He got the foul off to make it 3-2. The foul ball. Then we go upstairs. A slider on the Subaru Supermo above the belt. Chance to navigate through this first inning after giving the double.
That slider backed up a little bit.
Yeah,
didn't it?
That's some movement because you can see it coming out of the hand the way he torqued the hand.
There's Markakis. He's moved off the plate. Markakis, like seemingly everybody on the Braves, has a gaudy batting average with runners in scoring position. That's in there for a strike. Chad has the ability to slow the game down, which I think when you're talking about even John Gray, Herman Marquez, Kyle Freeland, the youngsters, that is developed over time.
This is start number 71 for Chad, so he's got some mileage under that belt. So when that happens, he can go softer with his pitches. I think that's what you mean by that, slowing the game down. Too many times young pitchers, they want to go harder with the hard stuff, whether it's fastball, hard slider. When the game starts to speed up, they've got somebody out there. But Chad plays into the aggressiveness of the hitter.
Chad is such a bright guy also in that he's had to reinvent himself even before battling the testicular cancer, in that he was a power guy in the minor leagues. This is in the air to Parra. He's got it, and that is a terrific job in the first by Bettis after giving up a leadoff double to Enciarte. good thing. Charlie Blackmon in the Southwest batting order. DJ LeMahieu, Nolan. Cargo had a triple and a home run yesterday. Ian Desmond, Gerardo Parra, Trevor Story, Tony Walters. And they'll face a guy they haven't seen in a while, Jeff Houston. Anibal Sanchez, though in his career, Anibal has always had the Rockies number, but again, he has not pitched against Colorado in quite some time.
Well, you got to go back to 2014 when he was with Detroit the last time he got a W. The game against Washington came in relief, so this is his first start of the year, but it's start number 263 in his career.
Hasn't pitched at Coors Field since 2011. He was the guy that burst on the scene with the Marlins in 2006 with a great young rotation, and he threw a no-hitter in 06. He's in his 13th big league season. Last 5.5 years with Detroit. He was with Minnesota during camp, did not pitch well early, and they would have been on the hook for a pretty big salary had they not let him go. So they paid kind of a buyout, and Atlanta gobbled him up. And now he's their 5th in their rotation, according to Brian Snitker.
And you can see all the different pitches that he throws and the usage and the velocity. He tries to rely on the hitter getting himself out now, because he used to have pretty electric stuff. I mean, it was sharp. It was a good fastball. He could cut it. It was a hard slider. That no-hitter he threw against Arizona. 6 strikeouts, only 103 pitches to get to earn that victory in no-no.
Yeah, Charlie's been around for a while now. And Sanchez with the Marlins, and then in the American League, you'd think they'd have met before, but they have not. This is the first encounter. And Sanchez wins it. 1 out, and that'll bring up LeMahieu. Atlanta defensively is led in the middle by Ender Inciarte, who captured his 2nd career Gold Glove last year. Tucker and Markakis on the corners, Flaherty, Swanson, Albies, and good defender in Freddie Freeman at first. Carlos Perez is behind the plate. He was picked up late in spring training when he was released by the Angels.
They've started a lot of catchers just in their first 7 ball games, 4 of them to be exact.
And this is to Albies, and he throws to Freeman, 2 outs. Rockies lost 8-3 yesterday. They had 7 hits. In the 3-1 victory a couple of days ago in San Diego, they had only 4 hits. So they're due for a breakout, is my point.
Corey said 8 home runs, right? Isn't that what he called in the pregame show with Jenny?
If he's halfway right, I'm going to be real pleased with Corey. Nolan is 0 for 3 career-wise against Sanchez. Anibal, a native of Venezuela.
34 years of age. Boy, when he broke in with the Marlins, didn't they have a dynamite young staff?
Well, I remember him, and I remember Josh Johnson on that staff. And a guy who just recently got released, pitched a long time, Ricky Nolasco. He was with the Royals during spring training.
So the left-hander Scott Olson.
Yeah. And all 4 of those guys were double-digit winners for the Marlins in 06. 2-2.
Sanchez, if he's going to get you out, he likes to get you out away. They don't like to come in too often. There they go, down and away. It's, read that right, 65 miles an hour.
You don't see too many pitches in the big leagues arrive below 70.
The key to the side armor, I think, is we saw that the other day in San Diego. High 50s.
Yeah, that constitutes almost an ephus pitch, right?
Well, when it's harder than a batting practice pitcher, then yes, it is ephus.
Off the plate, it's full, 3-2.
Foul ball.
Was a foul ball.
Sanchez starts on the extreme first base side of the rubber. So for right-handers, it's easier for him to get the ball to his glove side.
That fastball arrived at 91 miles an hour, and Nolan was right on it. Outside, good at bat. That will give Cargo an opportunity to hit here in the first. Let's check our Mako big hit from yesterday. Cargo had 2 hits yesterday, a triple to drive in a run in the first. That came off the bat at 113.7 miles an hour. In his next at bat, he did this. That came off the bat at 113.7 miles an hour.
Was also 445 feet.
Which is one of the longest home runs hit in baseball this year. And also on that list was the one a little later in the inning by Story that went 443. This is amazing. So most batted balls at 110 plus miles an hour for the Rockies over the last few years. Cargo has 89 of them. The next highest is Reynolds with 10. We're going to go back to that. Charlie
10.
Blackmon, who's we know is a wonderful hitter, tremendous hitter. He's hit only 5 balls in that same time frame at 110 miles an hour or better. Cargo consistently, along with Giancarlo Stanton, they hit the ball harder than everybody else. 1 and 2.
Cargo had that ball in Arizona. It was 117 miles an hour.
Cargo does own a home run against Sanchez, 3 for 10 lifetime.
That was when he made his lone appearance at Coors Field in 2011.
Called strike 3. Cargo didn't like Bill Welke's decision. That'll end the inning. We'll go to the second. Toyota stores, by O'Toole's Garden Center, putting the color in Colorado, and by Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees, that's transparency. We go to the second, the Rockies and Braves scoreless. Chad Bettis, his first pitch is hit in the air to Cargo in deep right. He's going to have a play, and Preston Tucker's retired. One pitch, one out, you like that? Here comes Dansby Swanson.
Remember yesterday we were talking about, you know, Herman not wearing any sleeves underneath his jersey. Well, Chad, here we go. He likes the sleeveless, less constricting.
That was pretty timely by you because I just reached down and turned our heater off. Starting to burn my legs. Yesterday, there's no way in the world I would have done that.
It took me till the last half mile driving home last night before I unthawed.
Cargo had a funny line after the game. He didn't intend it to be funny. It just kind of came out that way. He said, you know what? He goes, below 30 degrees, it's just, what did he say? It's just stupid. He said, I couldn't feel anything. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Swanson.
Yeah, most of the guys I talked to, and it's not to make an excuse for the game because both clubs played in it. It was miserable and bad for both sides. The Braves just pitched better and hit better.
Ground ball to third. Nolan had to retreat for a moment. Swanson running well. Is out by a step.
But almost to a man, everybody I talked to today said if it wasn't the coldest game they played in, it was the second coldest.
Well, the Rockies played the Braves a few years ago, and that was the coldest at first pitch at 23 degrees. Yesterday it was 27 at first pitch, and then we looked up, what, in about the third, fourth inning, he was 24 on the scoreboard.
And they just said it was so biting cold. That's what really got him. And it, you know, it could be, you know, the wind blowing in a little bit, whatever it was. He just said it was, you just couldn't feel your fingers, feel your hands, feel your legs.
It was a
and again, it's not an excuse.
No,
that's not what I'm saying.
It was a nasty day, but the Braves played in it also.
They did. They played better, as I said. They pitched better. They hit better.
1-1 on Ryan Flaherty. Off the plate. Bettis, at least as the rotation is set to begin the year, is pitching out of the 4th slot. Tomorrow, Kyle Freeland will go. Kyle pitching out of the 5th slot. Three balls and a strike on Flaherty. Flaherty walked 3 times yesterday. Didn't have a hit. His first game this year, he did not have a knock in. To first. Ian Desmond will take it himself, and it's a 1-2-3 second for Chad Bettis. Challenge. We'll show the results after the ball game. And which type of weather would you least like to play a game? Freezing cold like yesterday, blazing heat like you see down in Miami, hard rain, or snow? Go to AT&T Sportsnet RM on Twitter to cast your vote. Ian Desmond steps up against Sanchez. Big swing and no baseball, 0-1. I just saw a tweet from the Marlins game tonight. They're playing. This is out in front of the plate. And Sanchez makes a good throw, 1 out. Miami's playing in Philadelphia. They're down 17-1 in the 6th inning. So at one point tonight in the 4th inning, they had thrown 130 pitches and they'd gotten only 11 outs.
Wow. Question though is, what is Gabe Kapler going to do with his starter? Is he going to leave him in, or is he going to take him out of that ball game?
17-1. Miami's going to have some rough days in 2018. Here's Parra. Home run, a couple driven in. Gerardo 0 for 4 yesterday. Rockies have Trevor Story on deck. Parra's got good numbers against Sanchez, 9 for 17 lifetime. He's got a 2-0 count to work with. I wonder how stretched out Sanchez is also.
Probably not very much. 58 pitches in the 3 innings against Washington as a reliever.
And last year in Detroit, he was working out of the pen part of the time. He was also in AAA in Toledo at times last year. Quiet man, prideful man out of Venezuela, as we said, who's really had a fine career. He's won 90 ball games. And a base hit the other way. So the Rockies have their first knock. That'll bring up Trevor Story, and it also takes us to our friend who is more recognizable tonight than last night when he was bundled up in 6 blankets, Ryan Spilborn. Spilly?
Yeah, Jerry, you mentioned already that opening day yesterday here at Coors Field was the coldest ever recorded, and guys like Trevor, they prefer the heat. So I asked Cargo, just how cold was it?
It was undescribable. I mean, it's just one of those things that you never get used to it. I mean, maybe people from from here get used to it, but for us, it's a little painful, man. I'll tell you that.
So I looked up some history. The coldest game ever played was at Coors Field. It's gonna be a pop-up right at me. Maybe Freddie will get it. Well, the coldest game ever recorded was that game 2013 between the Rockies and the Braves. It was 23 degrees. I have another bit of trivia for you. The coldest game ever before that was here at Coors Field too. 1997 between the Montreal Expos and the Colorado Rockies. So if you do play here, you better get used to the cold.
I got to ask Huey, because you played for Montreal and you played indoors at Stade Olympique. It's 57 degrees tonight, 2 outs with Walters at the plate. Do you remember either taking the train or going to the ballpark in Montreal in April or September saying, I cannot imagine if this game was outside?
Oh yeah, yeah, plenty of times you did that because it was coming off the the river right there. It was cut through you cold. Yeah, for sure. Well, I also remember having a rain delay in Olympic Stadium because they couldn't get that balloon roof closed. It was too windy.
I think you told me about that once.
So you're supposed to have this cover over the top of it so you wouldn't have any rain, but on a nice day they could open it up.
I do hope they get Major League Baseball back in Montreal. Montreal's a marvelous town. I know you and Wendy really enjoyed living there.
Yeah, it was fun. We lived there one winter. It was fun.
What's Tony doing?
I think trying to say that hit him.
Checking with Brian Jones in his fancy new suite. And they're not going to challenge it. So 1-1 on Tony. And that's bounce foul. Right now, the Rockies' 4 extras typically are Tony, who's the backup catcher to Chris Iannetta, Ryan McMahon, Mike Tachman, and Pat Valleca. And they're due because collectively, that group of 4 is 0 for 31 right now.
Yeah, Tony's 0 for 7. Mac and Pat are 0 for 10, and Mike Tachman 0 for 4.
Runner takes off, and it's fouled off. Barr took off on a 1-2 pitch, which better have a big jump there. Running in the bottom of the order. So Barr
obviously saw something. He got the time. Yeah. That's all key. If you find something, that's some timing mechanism.
And this is slowly hit to Albies, and that's all for the Rockies in their half of the second. So we move on to the 3rd inning. No score. Rockies, 2 old friends, 2 former teammates, Eric Young and Vinny Castilla. 2 tremendous guys. You know, you see the bear hug and the bro hug and all that, right? That's heartfelt. You can just look at the picture, it's a still. And those are 2 guys that have great affection for one another, understandably so.
Yeah, and talking to EY today, he said, I still get chills every time I come back to this stadium, and what this community, this city, this organization meant to him.
You know, he was on Walt's staff coaching, and that's a base hit off the bat of Carlos Perez to lead off the 3rd inning. Sanchez coming up next. He'll be in a sacrifice situation, but EY will always be a Rocky. He may wear a different uniform, but he'll always be a Rocky.
Well, we had him in our poll yesterday, right? You know, one of the top 4 moments of an opening day with EY hitting the home run. One final thing for EY too. They got some great news. Dallas, you know, his youngest son, just signed on to do 20 episodes of Cousins for Life. It's going to be on Nickelodeon. That starts filming in August.
Well, Dallas, we used to call him when he was 5, the mayor, kind of like we do with your son. That's a great play by Ian Desmond. People wondering, hey, can he play first? There aren't many first basemen to make that play and then have the guts and the arm strength and the accuracy to make that throw to get the force at second.
And we're going to freeze this as soon as he catches the ball to show you where he is and then what he has to do. So the bunt's laid down, so he come in, he's at the 45-foot line. Now he knows that he's got a good lane to throw over towards second base with, and he knows that he has the catcher running, so he can make that strong throw to get that guy and trade positions and now have the pitcher running.
That's a big out. Prevented 90 feet from occurring. And now it's a runner on first with one out for Inciarte, who doubled off the scoreboard in right to begin the ball game. He takes strike one. I'll throw something else at you, Huey, because at different times in your career you had to go over there and play first. So you can really relate to Desmond because your natural spot shortstop. Desi came up for years and years as shortstop. Fielding that bunt and not having a ton of experience, most guys say, I'm just getting it out.
Yeah, I don't want to risk something because we talk about a spin move being hard anyway, but it's a spin move that a shortstop never makes. He never spins that way to try to make that throw, you know, coming all the way back across. So I think for Desi, you look at it and that's just some baseball instinct.
2-1 on Inciarte. That's a late call from Bill Welke. 3-2.
Even though you didn't agree with it, if you're Inciarte, after tossing the bat, you still have to apologize to the umpire. Say, yeah, sorry about that, my bad. I thought it was out. Wherever you thought the pitch was.
This could be two. Inciarte can fly. There's one. Safe. Pretty good attempt at turning that over.
Nolan did everything he could. DJ did the same thing. Better look on the Subaru Supermo. Ball in the glove.
He's out.
And that's going to be a double play. Yeah, they're going to it.
They're going to take a look. Haven't had a ton of reviews through the first week or so of the season with the Rockies.
Is this our first?
No, there was one in San Diego or Arizona. I can't remember. It was a quick one.
Oh, it was Arizona.
He's out. The best angle was the previous angle we showed. It's pretty clear. This one. Stop it when it hits the glove.
There.
Yeah, his
foot's still
foot's
in the air. Yeah. Ball and glove. Disappears. Foot still in the air. That's going to be a double play.
And what they look for, the umpire crew in New York, so you know at home, as soon as the ball touches leather, it is considered secured.
Yes.
It's considered a catch. It's not like it has to completely, you know, disappear.
Or the glove has to close completely.
Right. And they make the ruling, and New York says it is a double play. 5-4-3 on the turn. We'll go to the bottom of the third, scoreless in Denver.
Time now for a spilled history. Beer has always been an important part of baseball, from advertisements to 10-cent beer night. However, it was banned during Prohibition. That's why when the 33rd president, Harry Truman, signed the Colin-Harrison Act April 7th, 1933, the beer was allowed to be sold back in stadiums as Prohibition has ended. All right, Drew, Huey, which was true and which was my lie?
The middle one's not true.
Because there's a different president.
Right, it wasn't Truman.
Very good, boys. He was the 32nd president, President Franklin Roosevelt, who signed that Colin-Harrison Act in 1933. Very good. I know you reference the Truman administration all the time. You do need to update those lines.
Why? You referenced it again today with your little, little true or false, or spilled milk.
Spilled history.
Spilled history. All right, Spilly. 1 out. That'll bring up Charlie. Struck out swinging his first time against Sanchez.
Spilly looks much warmer today. He's got a lighter jacket on. Doesn't have the big blanket over his head.
Not yet.
Spilly, did you take a long hot shower last night when you get home?
Oh my gosh. I couldn't get the heated seats on fast enough in my car.
Right.
And then, sometimes we turn on the heater and put it on full blast.
Yeah.
It didn't help. I mean, I talked to some guys after the game. They went in the sauna directly after the game, and they still couldn't get the chill off themselves.
1-0 on Chuck. 2-0. Shift on in the infield. And that's outside. 3-0.
See the Subaru strike zone. That's kind of what they did the first time to Charlie. Everything was on the outer third quadrant of that strike zone.
Even there, did you notice 3-0? Sanchez wouldn't give in.
No.
He threw him a changeup 3-0. It's 3-1. Fastball away. And it's there, 3-2.
Charlie wasn't expecting that one, but it also wasn't a good pitcher spot. But after he throws a 3-0 changeup, you think he's going to throw a 3-1 changeup.
Now you're just trying to stay centered. What you telling yourself in your mind?
Yes. Stay centered. 2. Also for Charlie, when you see the shift on, visually with 2 strikes and a guy that works away or soft and wants you to try to get yourself out, you look at all that open territory on the other side, and that's where you're trying to hit it. 2 swings in a row.
Yeah, you could tell he waited, let that ball get a little deeper. Charlie, a career .316 hitter in the month of April. He just missed hitting one out last night. Towering fly ball to the track and right. Well, Charlie was going to turn his shoulder in just to make sure. He draws a walk with 1 out. That'll bring up LeMahieu. Fans, when the Rockies score 7 runs in a game, make sure you make your way to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. DJ hit a ground ball to second in his initial at bat. Blackman and LeMahieu were combined 0 for 7 yesterday. Charlie did draw a walk early in the game. I don't even want to say he's pitching backwards, Huey. He just any count, any pitch. It's
It
really
goes
how
against
he's pitching.
everything the game is today. Meaning everything is hard, harder, and hardest. Fastballs, sliders, you name it. Everything is 95 plus. And this is more of an 80s style pitcher.
Yep. He's trying to hit spots, change speeds. DJ career-wise, 331 at Coors Field. Having to dive back a lot gets me thinking, Huey, what was the hardest surface that you played on? Dirt surface, not turf.
Probably Texas because of the heat.
DJ, base hit. Charlie had to make sure that line drive eluded the glove of Swanson. He goes to second, and they're two aboard for Nolan.
Well, you know you're not going to keep these two guys down very long after going 0 for yesterday. Bruce Supermo, it didn't cut, it didn't do anything. Coming into the bat of DJ, lines it past Swanson.
Nolan, a home run, 5 driven in. The home run came on opening day. His 3rd career opening day home run. This is where Nolan is one of the greediest guys in baseball.
And he should be. And this is why you're put in these spots, because he comes through. All the RBIs he's had in the last 3 or 4 years. One of the leaders.
2-0. And now you got the count the way you want it. In your head, though, you're thinking, I've been watching this guy for 11 hitters. He's not going to throw a fastball here, probably.
He is. It's going to be away.
He went changeup. Chances are he may not give in again.
No, not to Nolan. If he does, it would be something that he wasn't intending to do.
This is a base hit center field. Blackman cuts the bag at 3rd. He's coming home, and he will score the Rockies' first run. Nolan Arenado, another ribby, his 6th of the season. Didn't try to do a lot, did he, Huey?
You know, remember yesterday he got 2 base hits to right field? I think this was the same approach he had today with Sanchez. 4-seam fastball. He did go away, tried to challenge him on the Subaru Supermo, but Nolan just pokes it out there. I mean, he keeps that head down as well as anybody in the game. 6th RBI of the season for Nolan.
Cargo got painted and called out on strikes, his first time up. LeMahieu at 2nd, Nolan at 1st. 1 out, 1-0.
I think for Cargo, he just has to look at kind of the way that Charlie was pitched to, where everything was away. They're giving him the left center field gap. If he happens to pull it, he might just be a pitch that came back over the heart of the plate.
Ooh, that's close.
See everybody's reaction now. As soon as there's a close play, they'll look in the dugout and say, hey, check that, check that.
And that's what they're doing right now, because Sanchez is standing off the dirt on the mound, just staring in at the dugout. Walt Weiss and Brian Snitker got the word that they're not going to challenge it.
To give us a better look on the Subaru Supermo. That was pretty close. Hand just snuck underneath the tag.
Runners go and throw behind, and they're going to get Nolan. Nolan does not have to go on that, and the catcher will always come out and signal in a 1st and 2nd situation where he's going to throw to, and it makes sense he's going to throw behind here.
Well, and you see the late break that Nolan got. Let it go down as a caught stealing 2-6.
No stolen base for LeMahieu. 1-1, 2-1. field, playable out there for Markakis. The Rockies get a run, though. A pair of hits. Nolans drives in, and Charlie Blackmon. Subaru, love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. By Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. And by Cheyenne Frontier Days, log on to cfdrodeo.com for the full lineup. Gotta keep that ground firm around the plate and on the mound. Tamp it down every day.
Every night, Mark and his crew are out after the ball game doing that, making sure it's ready to go for tomorrow.
Ozzie Albies drives one to deep right. Cargo reaches up and makes a nice grab. We got a good jump. One out. Chad Bettis appreciating that. The key at bat so far in this young game happened in the first inning. Enciarte was standing at second. He doubled initially. Albies had grounded back to Chad, and Freddie Freeman had a 3-1 count, and Chad came back and struck him out.
Freddie's 1 for 18 career against Chad.
That's at the bottom of the zone, but just missed, and it's 1-1. 2-1. Freddie has reached at least twice in every game. We talked about the walks, 12 of them in the first 7 games. Reaching in the first 7 games at least twice ties an Atlanta record, previously held by Jerry Royster back in '78. I remember Jerry Royster. Pulled to second. DJ with the sure hands. 2 outs. So Nick Markakis is wearing number 22. Whenever I see 22, the Rockies or the Braves, I think of Walt Weiss.
He's wearing number 4 for Atlanta.
When you're a coach, you almost always defer to the player. Inside on Markakis. Rockies a 1-0 lead on an Arenado base hit up the middle. And that's a base hit for Markakis. The left-handed bat coming up, Preston Tucker. Huey, it's I was about to say it's 19-1 Philadelphia against Miami, but they just changed the score again. They just put some more numbers up. It's 20-1.
Well, and I kind of joked a moment ago when we were talking about it when it was 17-1, what Gabe Kapler, the manager of Philadelphia, was going to do with their starter, because he's caught a little grief, shall we say?
No, we should say he's caught a lot of grief.
So anyway, Vince Velasquez is was through 6 innings. He had 98 pitches. So I guess he didn't do the same thing as he did to Aaron Nola opening day when he took him out with, what was that, Dougie, 60 pitches?
67.
With a 5-0 lead. And then they burned through like 23 pitchers in the first 5 or 6 games.
Including one guy who wasn't even warmed up. Down the line, that's foul.
So you're saying that's why he was booed yesterday at Phillies home opener.
It's hard to be the new manager and you're booed before, as you're introduced. The first time you run out of your home dugout. I mean, you've done that much wrong already to tick everybody off.
He's done a lot.
Hey, listen, guys, it's par for the course in Philadelphia, and I mean that in the nicest way possible, because they are passionate fans. It's the first time I've ever heard a major league player get booed at their home yard, and it was David Bell getting booed while he was on the on-deck circle. That's how bad they liked him.
Yeah, it's a rough crowd. We deal with it internally with our group, because one of our producers, Allison Behill, and she's working tonight, is from Philadelphia. And you don't cross her at all. Otherwise, she's going to get after you, right?
They booed Santa Claus out there one time, too.
You got to give him at least a week.
That's it.
That's it.
1-2 on Tucker. Allison hasn't responded to that in our ear. I'm shocked at this. Allison
the ultimate.
She came back with, she's queuing up a Super Bowl highlight. Fly, Eagles, fly, Al. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of 4. And he got it. Chad Bettis with his 2nd strikeout of the evening. He strands Markakis at first. He's doing his thing. Hashtag Toyota Talk on Twitter or Instagram. Ian Desmond in the bottom of the fourth. He had a roller out in front of the plate his first time up, and this is fouled off over the Rockies dugout. Desmond, Parra, Story. Rockies third in the National League West each of the last 2 years. That's a strike. After the first 8-9 days of the season, they began play today in second place behind Arizona. Arizona's off to a 6-1 start. So up and in. And tonight they got beat, so they're 6-2. St. Louis beat them today, 5-3. This is on the ground to short. Swanson throws across, 1 out. Parra got the Rockies' first hit with 1 out in the second, a liner to left. Greinke struggled in that game, Huey, at Busch Stadium. He went 5 innings, allowed 5 runs on 9 hits.
Well, Michael Wacha started today for St. Louis.
Flaherty. 2 gone. And that'll bring up Trevor Story.
Get this on the Subaru Super. Oh, off the end. That thing splintered.
Trevor Story fouled out to Freddie Freeman his first time up. Takes fastball down and in, 1-0. Story has hit 8 home runs in 15 career games against the Braves. It's like his numbers against Arizona.
Thinking that same thing. Good eye. Just a skosh offside or outside on the Subaru strike zone.
Story, had he not signed when the Rockies drafted him in the supplemental first round out of high school, was going to go to LSU. Thought of that last night as I was watching LSU play Texas A&M in College Station last night. Weekend series between those 2 SEC teams.
I like flipping around and looking at some of the college baseball games that are on.
I'm with you. I love watching college baseball. Some good arms on display. It was Friday night.
Yeah, and you know you're going to get that stud on Friday night, especially in the SEC. I mean,
both guys were thrown in the mid-90s. And then
you
LSU,
probably had 30 scouts there, 1 from every club.
Yeah, they do something really funny. I mean, Aggie fans are great. You know, they have midnight yell practice in football. Had the good fortune of doing a number of games down there over the years. Friday night they'll get 30,000 people at midnight in their pajamas having a pep rally. High fly ball to left field, pretty well hit. Did Story get all of it? Yes, he did. Home run, Trevor Story. His second of the year, 9th against the Braves in his young career. 2-0 Colorado.
Well, it sounded solid. Sounded like he got it on the barrel, but the question was it too hot? Did he get underneath it too much? Well, the answer to that is emphatically no. Well, slider, that's what he hit out yesterday, too, on the Subaru Supermo. The force coming through with that swing. Top hand comes off.
And back live in the moment, you're going to see Tony Walters just reached. That's going to be an infield hit.
Tony getting off 0 hit mark. You'll take it any way you can. You're just looking for your first one to build on.
Atlanta's fortunate that hit his foot. Otherwise, Tony's going to be at second base. So an infield hit. The home run went 404 feet. So that's the first hit by a bench player for the Rockies this year. They were a collective 0 for 32. Well, hopefully that gets them going the other direction. Bettis will ground out to end the inning. The Rockies tack on another on the long home run from Trevor Story. 2-0 Colorado going to inning number 5.
A StatCast brought to you by Subaru. The exit velocity, the launch angle is incredible at 39 degrees, and then the distance 404 feet. Pretty impressive from Trevor, considering that that ball was very high, evidenced by the launch angle, and also 105.4 miles an hour off the bat. More importantly, it puts the Rockies up 2-0.
Well, we showed you this graphic earlier today. Trevor Story in his first 250 games, other notable shortstops. Trevor now with 53 home runs, 6 more than Nomar hit in his first 250. A-Rod with over 600 had 46. Ernie Banks ended up with more than 500. Carlos Correa, who knows what he'll end up with.
Kind of lost in the home run and then the RBI by Nolan is the pitching of Chad Bettis. 3 hits allowed. That was a leadoff double that he left the runner stranded there. Start this ball game. Now you got Dansby Swanson leading off in the 5th inning.
And Swanson takes a breaking ball for a strike. Those 5 notable players, those are the top 5 all time. We didn't just pull out 5 big names and play shortstop out of a hat.
Remember last night, Drew, we were talking about Dansby Swanson going to Vanderbilt and Ryan Flaherty going to Vanderbilt. We were wondering what happened to Pedro Alvarez.
He's playing,
yeah,
actually.
DHing for the Orioles. I was watching that game today. I was like, oh, there he is.
Yeah, we was the first one we had to punt on this year, huh?
Yes.
Probably not.
That'd be 1 or 2 more. Where is that one? I think it's just the
3-1.
It's out of the zone.
It's in there, 3-2. Swanson a healthy cut.
He just looks like a different player than we saw last year. Talking about Dansby Swanson. He got rushed to the big leagues. I mean, he didn't have a whole lot of time to practice down in the minors.
And draws a walk.
Fans get on-demand access to the rooftop with the Rooftop Ballpark Pass. $96 for 8 games, and it includes concession credit. Choose the days and redeem your pass from your phone. Go to Rockies.com/pass for more information.
That'll bring up Ryan Flaherty. He had a sharp ground ball at Ian Desmond his first time. Flaherty, we discussed this yesterday. We mentioned it, out of Vanderbilt also. His hometown, we want to work in as many crew members as possible, is the same hometown as our director tonight, Mike Fox.
Portland?
He's from Portland, Maine. In fact, we just learned that Flaherty's dad golfs with Mike's dad.
Well, I got a story I can add to that too. Nick Markakis and Flaherty played with each other in Baltimore, and Markakis' wife had a sister, and they played matchmaker. In fact, they ended up matchmaking the sister to Ryan, and they're married. What do you got on that?
I got nothing on that. Congratulations.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
Wait, who was it again? Who played matchmaker? Tevier? Who is this?
It was Nick Markakis' wife.
Oh, okay.
She had a sister. Obviously, he must have been a great teammate. Nice guy.
1-2, chance for 2. Desmond, good feed, back to first. Desi's there. 3-6-3.
Can we just put rest?
Yeah, can somebody tell me, please, why people felt like it was going to be this otherworldly stretch that a longtime shortstop who'd played some in the outfield was going to go back to first base, and the Rockies signed him to a big deal, and it was somehow incredibly foolish that the Rockies felt like he could play first base.
I like also too where he gave that throw to Trevor so he could clear from the runner, and then Desi just goes back over to first, just waves the pitcher off, says, I got it. Second double play tonight for the Rockies.
Carlos Perez had a base hit his first time. Did he go? Nice one. 2-0.
I think the umpire at first, and that's Tony Randazzo, deemed that Perez was just trying to get out of the way. He wasn't attempting to swing it.
I got one more Ryan Flaherty story. I'm trying to one-up Spilly.
It's hard to do after the match.
His father, who's golfing buddies with Mr. Fox, that's in there 2-2, has won a couple of national championships as the head coach of Division III Southern Maine. How about that?
So he probably has to give strokes to Mike's dad.
Yeah, here's something. Yeah, because he's working hard on the baseball diamond. Southern Maine is a tradition-rich baseball program. The University of Maine, Mark Sweeney, our good buddy, who's now a former Rocky, now working on the broadcast side with the Padres. He went there. Billy Swift went there. There's strike 3. So up there in Maine, with lobsters, frigid temperatures, they play some pretty good hardball. Another strong inning from Bettis. 2-0 Rockies. On the Road is brought to you by Lazy Days RV. Next road trip for the Rockies will take us to our nation's capital. The Rockies will play 4 against the Nats and then 3 against Clint Hurdle and the Pittsburgh Pirates. 7-game road trip.
Pirates are playing pretty well out of the gate.
They are. Trevor Story will reunite with a guy he played with growing up, Josh Bell. Big, strong kid in the middle of that Pirate lineup. Here's Chuck. He walked and scored in the 3rd on a base hit by Nolan. Strikeout his first time up. Charlie has already scored 9 runs this year. It's tied for 4th most in the National League. Last year he scored 137 runs, and yes, that led the National League. 4th most in Rockies history. Larry Walker in his MVP season in '97 scored 143 runs. Great crowd tonight on this Saturday night. 2nd home ball game of the year. Sellout yesterday, naturally. Looking up at the rock pile. Rock pile is more full today than it was yesterday because, again, it was 30 degrees warmer at first pitch tonight. This is a really nice crowd, especially considering it's April and
but I think
pretty big hockey game taking place tonight.
still nothing in that game, by the way. Right down over at the Pepsi Center. But I just think that the excitement that this club has built up and the excitement coming into the season, fans want to be a part of it.
They most certainly do. I think Charlie took a swing at that and said, how did I not hit it? Did you have that in your career where you go, how did I not hit that?
How did I miss that pitch? Are you kidding me? I was right on it until I missed it.
This is fouled off. Spilly, how many times you step out and say, I don't understand that. Was there a hole in the middle of my bat? I was right on that.
You know what? I still remember the story of, I think it was Manny Moto was standing around a batting cage, and this guy was taking BP, lining a couple balls, and he was like, was that good? He's like, it's good for you. And it makes me, it reminds myself how many times catchers and umpires are like, how did I miss that? And they go, look at the back of your jersey.
The very end of the bat, fouled off. Doug was very timely. He handed me a note that said that's how my entire career went. So you want to be a statistician? And Charlie swings and misses. Sanchez again not throwing him many fastballs. 1 out.
MLB.TV Premium is back and better than ever. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live on over 400 supported devices. Visit MLB.TV for more details. Sanchez is at 75 pitches. Oh, wait a second. Peyton Manning taking in a ball game.
Peyton's always been a big supporter of the Rockies. It goes back to his, as you guys know, his close relationship with Todd Helton.
Funny story about Peyton. So when he was rehabbing here, you know, with his neck, I saw him down in the locker room, and I introduced myself. I said, hi, I'm Jeff Hughes. He goes, hi, I'm Peyton Manning. Like, I don't know that.
This ball's driven to deep right field, and it is off the glove of Markakis. DJ into second with a double. I actually like guys who do that.
No, I know, I did too, but it was just, you could tell how humble he is.
Yeah.
Because he could have said, hi, you know, nice to meet you. Like, don't you know who I am? But he did.
And you said no bleep Sherlock? No?
No, I was a little nicer than that.
Okay.
2 hits tonight for DJ. Marquez gallant effort to go after it, goes off his glove. Right off the end. Couldn't stretch out on the Subaru Supermo.
DJ hit that a ton. Another opportunity for Nolan to drive in a run. A walk and a run-scoring single in the third.
Second double of the year for DJ.
I would guarantee at this stage of the game, 79 pitches in.
Yes. And he's due to lead off next.
This will be it, but more than half. Wouldn't you agree? Way more than half have been off-speed pitches.
Yeah. Whether it was, he's throwing a lot of change-ups.
See if the Rockies can get to him finally. They've nicked him a couple times. The run in the third on the base hit by Nolan. The 2-out home run by Story last inning.
And that now gives Sanchez 86 home runs allowed, third most since 2015.
And there's another base hit. LeMahieu around third will get a stop sign here from Stu Cole because it was hit hard. Tucker got to it very quickly. First and third, 1 out for Cargo.
Oh, it's so tough to defend because he'll take a fastball the other way like he did in the third inning. This time it's a slider. Gets out onto that front foot, but able to keep the hands back enough and still hit it fairly hard out to Tucker in left field.
And just now they look like they're starting to think about action in that Braves bullpen. So Cargo with a great opportunity here to extend the Rockies lead with 1 out. He has struck out and hit a high fly ball to right field. Set up away. Cargo was hoping that was down. Looked like it was at the bottom of the Subaru strike zone. Cat and mouse game. Sanchez stepped off, so then Cargo said, "I'll step out." Kept it down, and he's ahead 0-2.
DJ at third can get a really big lead. With Flaherty playing so far off the line, the rule of thumb is you can get as far off as he is once that pitch is delivered.
Cargo's worked hard with Dwayne Espy and Jeff Salazar, and it goes back to last year being a lot quieter, not twisting like Gumby quite as dramatically as he had done at times, trying to just stay centered. Not going to happen here. 2 outs. It'll be left to Desmond. Those are at bats that keep you up at night.
Yeah, those are the ones that frustrate you. Another freebie at third base. If you can just get the ball in the air with his power, it's going to go deep enough.
Well, you basically know virtually anything in play, as you're saying, is going to get the running. Desmond can pick him up. downstairs 1-2. Coming into today, the Rockies were tied for third most strikeouts in the National League with 72. Four less than the Cubs, who have 76. Cubs played that 17-inning game also.
Yeah.
Strikeouts a bigger part of the game than ever before. 21+% of at-bats last year throughout baseball ended in a strikeout. It's the highest rate of all time. There are just certain times you have to find a way to get that ball in play. And the Rockies strike out twice with runners at first and third and do not add on. So they'll take a 2-0 lead to the 6th inning. Bettis has been terrific. Of the night. How about Chad Bettis? 5 shutout innings. He's allowed just 3 hits. Only time he was really in any kind of trouble, the leadoff man of the ball game, Ender Inciarte, doubled off the wall in right field. And that wasn't a problem because he got Albies on a comebacker, struck out Freddie Freeman after falling behind 3-1, and got Markakis on a fly ball to left. Sanchez due to lead off. This is Lane Adams pinch hitting. 9-1-2, curveball, strike 1.
Another thing for Chad tonight, he's got 9 ground ball outs. Lane Adams has some speed, so you got to make sure you get rid of it if you're an infielder.
4 right-handed bats on the bench tonight for Brian Snitker. Inside 3-1. Top of the 6th inning. And second straight inning, a leadoff walk. And now you have the top of the order coming up in a 2-run game.
2 guys that have some speed, Inciarte and Albies.
Tony Walters is going to go out. Let's take a look real quick at the coaching staff. We didn't have an opportunity yesterday for Brian Snitker. Walt Weiss is the bench coach. There are plenty of Rockies ties. Eric Young at first base, and there's a guy not listed there, Ron Washington, former Texas managers at third base. Sal Fasano is the catching coach, and Sal played in 25 ball games for the Rockies back in 2001. Good man, and he's on that staff as well. There's no Sal, 'cause he's got the best mustache in
Yes,
the building.
I was thinking that. Nobody has that Fu Manchu better than Sal.
There he
There
is.
he is.
The only one comparable, of course, was Goose. Goose a little more famous than Sal Fasano, but in baseball circles, you know, when you're talking about Fu Manchu, you go Goose, then you go Fasano, right? Then you go Spilly.
Spilly's working on his beard. Last time up for Inciarte, grounded into a double play. Now it'll be another time for that. That was the one they had to go to the video review and was overturned. Originally called safe. And it was called out. Inning over.
And that's way inside. See, the Subaru strike zone has 2 pitches right in there, but only one of those was called a strike, so it's 3-1. On Inciarte. Sam Freeman. 2 lefties in the bullpen is up and throwing for Atlanta. Lifted to center field, playable for Blackman. Going back to tag is Adams, and he's going to bluff.
Hey, planning an event, don't strike out. Get a dinger. Send an email to dinger at rockies.com to have the Rockies mascot at your next event.
Ozzie Albies a comebacker and a fly ball to deep right. Breaking ball's in there for a strike on Albies. One and one. Rockies with 7 hits, the Braves with 3. Guy's got to work out with Hensley Mullins, you would think, in the offseason.
Sir Henry.
Sir, that's right. Sir Bam Bam.
Sir Bam Bam.
Sir Bam Bam.
He was knighted.
He was knighted. Yeah. Sir Bam Bam's going to be Sir Skipper at some point in the not too distant future.
He's going to get a few interviews this year.
He did
over the winter.
And he's going to get a job, and deservedly so. 1-2. Rockies have Mike Dunn up now.
Sam Freeman up in the Braves bullpen.
Chad 82 pitches in. He got a victory in his first outing in San Diego. Two, he lays down a bunt. It's a great one. Walters out at first. What a play. I don't know how many catchers can make that play. I think back to Walters being a middle infielder by trade. I thought there was no way in the world he was going to get him.
Yeah, they're going to go to the headset and have a peek, but even to do that, the way he popped out and then had to slide, spin, and throw, the only thing was Albies hitting from the left side and his speed. Watch him just drop down. That is a marvelous effort from Tony. He couldn't have done that any differently.
Man, that's close.
Yeah, it is. And remember, he's called out.
Is it foot? Is it on the bag or in the air? Let's see. Frame.
I think they might have to make it stand.
Yeah, I don't know if you can overturn that.
Right.
I'm with you.
Because again, he was called out on the field.
That is an unbelievable play by Walters. Usually you're yelling, eat it, right?
Yeah, you'd say, don't throw it, because you're afraid you might throw it away.
Leather. I'm sorry, folks. I was watching on the enormous new scoreboard now. Leather. I just don't know if you can overturn that.
I mean, we're seeing it from so many different angles. This might be the best one to look at.
Yeah, to me, you can't overturn that.
He's out.
Out. There you go. Remember that play.
Put about 2 or 3 stars by that play. It's great as it was.
Yeah, Albies, even though he bunted for a hit with 2 strikes, he'll get credit for a sacrifice. So Adams at second base. And here's Freddie Freeman, who's 0 for 2. Strikeout and a ground ball into the shift. And this is foul.
Reminder again that Freddie Freeman's 1 for 19 in his career against Chad.
Bettis ahead 0-2. One and 2 on Freeman. When Freddie came up in his first few years, he just ate up the Rockies. The last few years, the Rockies have done a much better job against Freddie. Going to keep it going right here. This is a key at bat. 2-0 Colorado. 2 outs in the 6th. Close, but just missed. 2-2. What do you like here, Jeff?
I'd like something soft to Freddie, something that Chad has gotten him with the changeup down.
This is in the air, left center field, pretty well hit. It's over the head of Parra. And it's 2-1 as Adams scores.
It was a changeup. That's what they went to, but I don't think they wanted it at the knees. I think they wanted to start it right around the knees and have it go down towards the ankle. But Freddie Freeman's such an accomplished hitter, especially with runners in scoring position. Last year is 346. Nothing to be ashamed of for Chad Bettis tonight, though.
Nope.
Stand up and applaud him.
It's a winning effort from Chad. No hidden fees, that's transparency. 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning. Chad Bettis, who is really good tonight, just gave up an opposite field double to Freddie Freeman to drive in the Braves' first run. So it's 2-1. Nick Markakis, the owner of more than 2,000 big league hits, will face Mike Dunn. Markakis a fly ball to left and a single to right.
You see the opponent's batting average at 333. Lefty's hitting 200 off of Mike. You know, it's early in the season, and these guys have matched up 12 other times. Nick's dinged him for 4 hits. Just going the left-on-left matchup.
First pitch misses. Freeman at second. Freeman's now 8 for 10 this year with runners in scoring position. Markakis and Dunn played in the same division for a couple of years when Mike was with the Marlins and Markakis had come over from Baltimore. This is the 4th season in Atlanta for Nick Markakis. Good block by Tony Walters.
He's blocked every ball he needed to tonight. You saw the play against Albies. He's got his first hit. Good things for Tony tonight. And get this guy in Markakis. He's such a solid hitter because he doesn't have many holes in his swing.
No. Markakis still lives in suburban Baltimore. Well, the interesting thing is he gets traded to Atlanta. He's from Woodstock, Georgia, so he's back in his home state, but spent so much time in Baltimore. That's where he's raising his family. 2-1 and 3-1
to young Harris, like Charlie did,
and
just a few years before Charlie.
And when they were at young Harris, he was a junior college. It's now a 4-year school. Dunn almost pitched to Markakis like he'd prefer to face Tucker.
The guy in Tucker that doesn't have the pedigree of Markakis. The only problem is you put another run on base. We got 2 outs.
Tucker tonight, a fly ball to right and a strikeout against Bettis. And this is to DJ. He'll go the short way since he's moving in that direction. In the inning, there was a 2-out double by Freeman, and that scored Adams, who had walked to begin the inning. It's 2-1. lead it off. Double switch for Brian Snitker. Lane Adams stays in. Tucker, who made the last out, comes out, and so that's now the pitcher's spot. The 5-hole in the Braves lineup.
Sam Freeman really established himself in this bullpen for the Braves a couple years ago. His fastball is 95 miles an hour, throw a slider at 84, and also a split finger at 87 for Sam. And it's not just, you know, occasionally, he'll use it 20% of the time.
Parra single and a broken bat, ground ball to third. And there's that slider you talked about, and that was a good one. Adams will make the catch, 1 out. We'll bring up Trevor Story. Trevor, a home run in his last at bat. Back-to-back ball games has left the building.
Back in the 4th. 105 miles an hour off the bat. Just thank you very much for the slider. He hit it 404 feet. That time put the Rockies up 2-0.
Ball 1. Chad Bettis' line, 5 2/3, a run on 4 hits. He walked 2, struck out 3. He's on the plus side. Braves were 3 on the left side for Story. 2-0 the count.
I saw them do that last night with Nola. 2 guys on the left side.
And 3-0. This was an understandable decision in a tight game for Brian Snitker to bring in the lefty Sam Freeman, and here's why. You had Parra lefty, Story righty, Walters lefty, and then if the inning was extended by 1, the Rockies would pinch hit, and at their disposal, 2 lefties, 2 righties. But Ionetta's not going to be used. He's, you know, your number 2 catcher today. That would leave Pat Valaika, and Brian Snitker knows that Valaika is the late inning pinch hitter for Buddy, which means he'd get a left-on-left matchup. And Freeman comes all the way back and strikes out Story.
Let's flash back to that defensive play by Tony Walters and how important it was. You get some StatCast numbers. He had to throw it the arm strength at 76.5 miles an hour. The throwing distance was 77 feet. But for Albie to get down the line, he was running at 36.67 feet per second.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, that's what StatCast had it at.
No way.
Yes.
30 feet is like extraordinary.
I'm
That's like
you.
Byron Buxton and Dee Gordon and Billy Hamilton. 36 feet?
I'm the messenger. Okay, that's
you
what they
call
say.
up your friend and you tell him that's wrong.
Okay.
There's no way he's running 36
I'm
feet
just
a
telling
second.
you what the StatCast people told me.
He jump on a moped? I mean, he's
Hey,
fast.
it makes Tony's play even more impressive.
It's unbelievable. That's a strike. 2-1. So Valaika is on deck. So if Tony were to reach, Buddy will use him here in the 6th inning. And a walk. So Walters draws a 2-out walk. Pat Valleca will come up.
And I like this play right now for Buddy, because you don't know if what's going to happen in the 8th inning. You've got a chance right now to use your right-handed guy that you like in these situations against the lefty. There's only one other left-hander in the bullpen for Brian Snitker. That's A.J. Minter. So who knows how this game plays out? You use that card right now. It's like your wild card.
Yep. Ball 1. As we were rationalizing last inning, that call at first base, the throw by Tony, it was the call stands, and they could have said the call's confirmed, which would have indicated that we had him out. They basically said we couldn't call him out or safe, so the call stands. Valleca looking to break the ice on the 2018 season.
That'll be up to Brian Shaw in the Rockies bullpen. Dan Winkler is in the Braves bullpen.
Two-two, and Valleca goes down swinging. So Walters left at first. We move to the 7th inning. Colorado 2 and Atlanta 1.
A sneak peek of the Rockies' newest quiet room, very important for an athlete. According to Dr. Catherine Green, director at the UC Health University of Colorado Hospital Sleep Center, sleep affects every part of one's body and performance for both athletes and individuals. Sleep quality and sleep quantity become equally important to consider. The average adult needs about 7 hours of sleep a day. I'm pretty sure that quiet room is going to get some use over the course of the season, whether it's by the players, the coaches, or myself. Guys,
I need 8 hours at least a day.
Are you serious? Do you need 8?
Yeah, I'm pretty close to that.
I rarely get 8 hours. I don't need 8 hours. I need 8 hours like once a week.
You know, if you sleep longer than 8 hours, you can actually get taller.
That's my issue. Wait a second. All right, Spilly, come on up here. I got to go. Dansby Swanson will lead it off in the 7th inning. Brian Shaw will make his Coors Field debut. 4 appearances on the road. He's been very good. His first pitch, he's overly amped up. He throws it to the backstop. The Rockies have carried the lead after 6 innings in only 2 games this year. They've been tied after 6 and 2 games, and they're 4-0 in both of those situations. They're trying to prove to 5-0. Outstanding new bullpen. That's in there. The cutter for a strike. 1-1 on Swanson.
So they're just telling me in the truck they amended that speed for Albies at 30.67 feet per second.
Told you, there's nobody
Well,
runs 30. Usain Bolt doesn't cover that much ground,
but now
right?
they're amending it, so it's 30.67 is what they're telling me.
I feel much better.
Okay, good. I got a text saying that's impossible. I mean,
your partner was wearing you out.
Right.
1-2. Reaching for it, and Desi may have a play. He will. Good break on the baseball by Desmond, and Swanson is the first out of the 7th inning. I'll bring up Ryan Flaherty.
Desi gives a quick peek, and you like to do that just to make sure how close you're getting to that wall. A little leap. I'm not sure he needed to do that because he still had another foot going over there, but better safe than sorry.
Now Ryan Flaherty. You know where Ryan Flaherty's from?
Maine.
Yeah.
Portland.
Portland. And he's got a base hit. We'll bring up the catcher Carlos Perez, a single and a strikeout. Off the plate, ball 1. Brian Shaw has pitched at Coors Field in the past. In fact, 9 times. Former Diamondback and then on to Cleveland. In 7 1/3 previous innings at Coors Field, he is not allowed a run. Tony, snap throw after the block. Miss, 2-1. One out, 2-1. Perez at the plate, Flaherty at first. Double play ball. There's one, and a good feed to first. Brian Shaw does his thing. He induces a 4-6-3. We will stretch at Coors Field. The Rockies 2 and the Braves 1.
bobblehead. That's courtesy of our good folks at the Shane Company. All gates open at 11 a.m. Yesterday he was getting some hardware. Of course, that's the Tony Gwynn Award now, named for the National League batting champ, Silver Slugger.
A lot of trophies to take home.
A lot of trophies. I think that's neat the way they did that, naming it after Tony. And then we got the save leaders. They get their own awards and named after guys.
I agree. It's hockey-esque, NHL-ish.
Charlie leading off, LeMahieu and Arenado to follow. Sam Freeman still out there. Charlie walked and scored in the third, couple strikeouts against Sanchez. Sanchez went 5 innings. He was effective again against the Rockies. He came in with a sub-2 ERA against Colorado, though he hadn't seen him in 4 seasons. 2 runs, 7 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Rockies want some breathing room. Lane Adams in left field, retreats. DJ's had a nice ball game, single and a double. He won't get to face Freeman. Brian Snitker is going to bring in a right-hander. DJ could care less. Guy could kick it to the plate. He's going to be comfortable. We will be back. 1 out. Rockies up 2-1.
Walt Weiss, Pedro Estacio, Eric Young, and Carlos Gonzalez. It's amazing when you start thinking of the history of the Colorado Rockies, the friendships, how they're intertwined, and how the history of this game has moved forward. You'll get a chance to check it out with Jenny. Another great production by Ryan Morrison on the club later on as it gets produced. Guys, fun.
Billy, fun conversation. Good group to have lunch with.
Are you kidding me?
Forward
That'd
to
be
seeing
unbelievable.
that. Yeah. DJ takes outside and high from Dan Winkler. And if that name rings familiar, it should. Dan Winkler was raised a Rocky and then was signed in the Rule 5 draft in 2014 by Atlanta. That's a strike, 1-1.
That was after he underwent Tommy John surgery. That happened in 2014.
He's 5-2 with a 1.41 ERA at Tulsa that year when the Rockies AA affiliate was still in the Texas League.
He started his pro career up in Casper.
Out of Central Florida. To junior college in Illinois first, and then down to Central Florida. 2 balls, 2 strikes on LeMahieu.
Nolan behind him. Rockies trying to find a way to expand their lead.
They're not happy with the mound right now. He keeps kicking at the dirt, trying to find a good landing spot. Happens late in the game with you've had right-handers, you've had left-handers, so that landing area becomes quite large.
2 gone. Nolan a walk, an RBI single in the 3rd, and a single in the 5th with LeMahieu at 2nd. He was hit so hard to left that DJ had to stop. At 3rd base, there's the run-scoring hit that brought Charlie around.
Well, and then the second one to left field that was hit so hard that Stu Cole just had to hold up DJ. That ball was getting out to Tucker quick, and plus you had Cargo coming up, you had Desi coming up. There's only 1 out. They didn't come through, but that's everything too that a third base coach thinks of.
It's a strike, 0-1. Rockies have Jake McGee all set to go in the 8th inning. They're trying to stay away.
And we saw that in Arizona too, depending on the matchups, who pitches in the 7th, when you have the lead, who pitches in the 8th. But, and that's the beauty of having a Jake and a Brian out there, depending on the lineup. So for Bud, he says, well, I've got some lefties coming up, but I want to keep Jake for the 8th to face the lefties.
The guys you're referring to are Inciarte, Albies Freeman. Adams will lead off. And Winkler strikes out Nolan. So the Rockies go quietly in the 7th inning. We go to the 8th. It remains the Rockies 2, the Braves 1. Details. This is
Talking about the minor leagues?
Yep, some things going on in the minor leagues. How about David Dahl the other day? 3 for 5, drove in 4, stole a base. And in Hartford, Brendan Rodgers was 3 for 5, had a bomb and a double. Tonight he was 0 for 4 in a 4-1 loss by Hartford against the Fisher catch in New Hampshire. Sam Hilliard, we saw him a bunch during spring training. He hit a home run the other day. He had another hit tonight. He's hitting right at 300. And you're really going, I like him a lot. Big dude who can run.
Big guy, 6'4", 6'5". You're talking about the Fisher Cats. They have Bo Bichette on that team. They have Biggio's son, and they also have Vlad Guerrero's son on that team.
That team's loaded.
Yeah.
Bo Bichette had a couple hits tonight. He's batting in the 2 spot in that lineup for the Fisher Cats. Just like saying Fisher Cats. Jake McGee's there on the mound. Jake never played for the Fisher Cats. Lane Adams is the first man up.
Fifth appearance on the season for Jake. Let's hit 083. Let's see against Jake.
Bottom of the zone. Two on. This is the shallow right. Cargo coming quickly, and he'll call off his buddy DJ LeMahieu. 1 out.
Cargo is just getting great breaks on the ball. Whether it's coming in, going back to his left, to his right.
Conversation on how to pitch to Enciarte. You'll see Arenado shorten up at third to defend against the bunt with Ender. This is an easy play. 2 outs. Two gone, and that'll bring up Ozzie Albies.
Coca-Cola value packs are back for this season. Includes both April series against the San Diego Padres. 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 Cokes, and more for either $59 or $79, depending on your seat location.
Switch hitting Ozzie Albies. Had a sac bunt in the 6th inning. He was trying to bunt for a hit. That's when Tony made that spectacular play with 2 strikes. Fired out from behind the plate. And on a bang play at first, got the out. There's a runner at first, and that's why it was scored a sacrifice. Nolan comes up with it and unable to get Albies. That'll be an infield hit. I have to believe Nolan was distracted by the bat.
Yes, he was. Because he fields the ball, but the bat's still in the air as it's coming towards him. It'll go down as a base hit. It has to, but watch Nolan dive. So this is the first thing that he has to deal with, the speed of that. But then he has trouble once he goes around to stand up. He's got the bat coming at him. A lot of different things. And with Albies' speed, as we discussed on that play that Tony had, getting down the line. Ian also at first, so knock that ball down. Don't let it go down in the corner.
Yeah, He did a good job of that because there's no longer a situation of whether he's going to be able to get him at first. He wanted to make sure he doesn't end up in scoring position. So here's Freeman, left on left. And a pitch off the corner, ball one.
Two previous times for Jake, he was able to retire Freddie. He's 0 for 2.
Outfield playing no doubles. 2-0. A lot of Joey Votto in Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, that's a great call, Drew. He'll take his walks, very patient, well-defined strike zone.
Both guys shorten up a little bit on the bat, but I mean,
They can hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Yeah. They just don't expand.
No. I'm saying the difference, really the only difference is how tall Freddie is compared to Joey. Now, Freddie's about 6'5", maybe even going closer to 6'6".
Votto's not small, but he's about 6'3". Listen, those are two of the very best. Two balls and a strike with 2 outs. Swung on and missed, 2-2. And you know what comes back into play here? A pitch that he's really added, and that is a slider with depth.
Yeah, he's worked. The first strike was away, the second strike was up and in.
See if Tony calls for it.
He wanted the pitch away, but it looked like he called for a fastball. That's some plate coverage.
Tony checking his wristband. Looks like he's getting the pitch from the dugout. In this particular situation, another fastball. Albies takes off, and this is in the air to shallow left. Easy play out there for Park. McGee does the job. He gets Freddie Freeman with Albies aboard. We move on. Rockies by a run. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by the Colorado Lottery, more ways to play, more ways to win with the new multiplier scratch. Cargo leading off against Dan Winkler, and it's a breaking ball that he slaps into the dugout. Foul. Cargo after a home run and a triple yesterday. 0 for 3, couple strikeouts tonight. Cargo, Desmond, Parra. Rockies trying to get a little bit of breathing room for their closer, Wade Davis.
Cargo reaching a lot tonight on a swing. A pitch that right in front of the plate.
One out. Ian Desmond's 0 for 3 tonight. A couple of ground balls and a strikeout. Desmond hits it on the ground to Albies. 2 outs. Fans, follow us at AT&T Sportsnet RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies Taco Special. And the Rockies score 7 or more runs. Wade Davis will have Nick Markakis, a pinch hitter, and then Dansby Swanson.
They only have right-handed guys on their bench tonight. Probably be Peter Borges. Pinch it. It might be Charlie Culberson, former Rocky.
Parra singled back in the second inning. 1 for 3. Not much offense tonight. But the Rockies on the right side of the ledger.
Gerardo's been thinking the opposite field all night long. Had a single, also had a ground out to third, and then the fly out to left.
Now he's got a 3-1 count to operate with. I will say this, all night long, the Atlanta pitchers, and Chad Bettis certainly operated this way, they have stayed out of the middle third of the plate.
Yeah, it's been in and out too, hard and soft. They've pushed the gas, they pulled their foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, Sanchez was very effective with his off-speed stuff.
Changed gears.
As was, again, as was Chad Bettis. He's on the plus side right now.
But that's pitching. That's why they call it pitching and not throwing.
Kyle Freeland, Julio Teheran tomorrow. Actually, let me correct that. Sean Newcomb's going tomorrow. There's another base hit for Gerardo. Good AB. Big Sean Newcomb. 6'5", about 250-pounder.
Been a good night for Gerardo. Just watching him today during batting practice, just trying to stay more center, keep that shoulder in, and it's paid dividends tonight. Always nice when you do that. You've worked on something, you feel like you're getting out and around the baseball. I need to stay centered. You go out and you get 2 hits that night because you do. Just wish you could have done it all the time.
Exactly.
That's the challenge of hitting.
Story's home run in the 4th inning, the difference right now in this game. Would you say Freddie 6'5"?
Yeah.
It helped right there, didn't it?
He needed it. That was like a basketball player. Going up for a rebound, it was so high and wide. At first, the ball in the gap. You think you're going to be waved around by Stu. You're going to take a chance. You're going to make them make the play.
Rolled up the middle. This is going to be a tough play. Wow, a lot of arm strength for Albies. And you're reminded that he was a left side guy for most of his career growing up. That was a good play. We'll go to the 9th. Wade Davis will try to lock it down.
Warmer center field tonight. Jenny Kavner with Corey Sullivan. We're getting ready for the Toyota post-game show. Great start by Chad Bettis. With a night like tonight in such a close game, defense sometimes becomes the most important thing.
And we were talking about 8 home runs in the pregame. Instead, it's double plays. That's what we meant. Incredible job by Chad working on the corners. Anibal Sanchez matched him, excluding that Trevor Story home run. Great game. Hopefully Wade Davis can finish it off here.
That's exactly right. It's Wade Davis time, and for that we send it back to Drew.
All right, Jenny, thank you very much. The Coors Light refreshing finish. Wade Davis 4 for 4 so far, doing what he was signed on to do, getting the Rockies to that fun part of the night when you get to shake hands. He's got to make it 5 for 5 tonight. His first subject will be Nick Markakis. Wade Davis has pitched only 1 career inning at Coors Field. It came with the Royals back in 2014. He was the setup guy to Greg Holland at the time. He threw the 8th inning, a clean 8th inning, back in August of 2014.
Longtime foes in the American League between Davis and Markakis.
And it's a good start. Ground ball to Trevor. 1 out.
That's a real good start. Markakis, that's the 38th time he's faced Wade Davis.
Two guys have been around a while.
So I thought they would go to Borges or maybe even Charlie Culberson, but they're not. They're going to go to their backup catcher.
I thought, you know what?
Suzuki, only for the power aspect.
It's funny, when I was going over it with you and thinking to myself, I'm going, I wonder if Brian Snitker will play this card because he has the most pop of anybody available.
But that's the reason, you know, sometimes managers don't want to use their backup catcher.
Ball one.
Suzuki 2 for 7 in the previous matchups with Wade.
Here's the 1-0, and it's 2-0. Got a hot hitter on deck in Dansby Swanson also. And 3-0. A 4-pitch walk to Suzuki, and yeah, they're gonna. It's gonna be a short night for Suzuki. Peter Borges, who's always been one of the fastest players in the game, will take Suzuki's spot. He has the kind of speed that you potentially gamble a stolen base with. You know, there's some guys you go, okay, he's fast enough that on an extra base hit we think we can score him, but with Borges, he's so quick you have to be alert with him trying to swipe second. Swanson at the plate, 1 out.
Another guy that, talking about Borges, had signed late in spring, back on the 25th of March.
They have a few of those guys. Strike 1 on Swanson. A little different move there from Wade Davis.
Quick.
Swanson picked it up the last couple of months of the regular season a year ago. He was struggling with strikeouts, low batting average last year. He got rushed to the big leagues. He's off to a really good start this year.
291 his last 48 games. On base percentage was a little higher.
Oh, 1 ground ball through the left side, a base hit. Borges going to go first to third, throw there, and now the throw back across the diamond, and safe at first and third, 1 out.
There's the speed of Peter Borges, going first to third on a base hit to left field, and Gerardo out there.
He put a lot of pressure on the Rockies defense. A fly ball ties the game up.
Seeing that base hit past Trevor. Gerardo comes in, he fires it back, and then Nolan wisely goes to get it. Because if he waits for it and allows Swanson to go to second, That's really trouble.
Well, Ryan Flaherty, who singled in the 7th inning, 1 for 3 tonight. He did hit into a 3-6-3 double play in the 5th inning. That's a tremendous block.
You block it, and you got to worry about the speed at third. But Swanson also has very good speed, above average. So, I mean, he could take off if he sees the catcher going down. So Tony's got to worry about the guy at third and at first.
Runner takes off, base hit, tie ball game. And going first to third is Swanson. So Wade Davis, a walk and 2 singles, and it's 2-2 in the 9th. And he's got work to do to keep it at 2-2.
See how aggressive Atlanta is being in this inning after the walk. First to third, the runner starts in motion. Flaherty single up the middle. He goes over to third. They're right back where they started. First and third, still only 1 out.
Buddy Black is coming out. This is to have a conversation with his pitcher and his infield. You have Carlos Perez, who's hit into a double play tonight. Also a strikeout. He singled his first time up. So Wade Davis was 4 for 4. Only 1 blown save in the last year plus until tonight. Blew his final save opportunity during the regular season with the Cubs. Swanson's not a blazer if you're thinking fly ball, but he's, you know, probably a tick above average running. So
Flaherty's probably average at first.
There's no slugs on the base paths right now. Seeing eye hit and then a clean single to center by Flaherty.
It was the walk to Suzuki with 1 out.
Well, if you look back on this ball game, the other run allowed by Chad Bettis in the 6th came on a leadoff walk to Lane Adams pinch hitting, and he would have come around to score on a 2-out double by Freddie Freeman. Walks are never desirable, but here in the early going of the 2018 season, the Rockies have had far too many of them.
34 coming into tonight. About 38 on the season.
There's certain walks you can live with naturally. The pitch arounds, walks that set up, you know, the runner at second and 1 out, set up a double play, that kind of thing. But leadoff walks, walks with nobody on in a 1-run game in the 9th, those are costly. And now Wade falls behind 2-0. You know, as long as he's been doing it, and as great as he's been at being a setup guy, primary setup guy for Greg Holland initially, and then the outstanding closer he was in Kansas City and Chicago. First ball game and with a new team, and
It's different.
The home yard. He said he had nerves first time he took the baseball earlier this year with his new club. So there's some of that going on right now for Davis.
This is where you draw on your experience. And the good thing for Wade, he has the strikeout pitches. And that's what he's going to have to come up with, that strikeout or get that ground ball, get the double play.
Popped up. This is not going to get a run in. LeMahieu with Cargo coming. Cargo rightfully calls him off because his momentum's going toward the plate. Even if DJ catches that, I'd have been shocked if Swanson went anywhere, but still.
Right play.
So that'll bring up Lane Adams. It'll be his third plate appearance. He walked and scored in the 6th. Stayed in the game in left field. He hit a fly ball to right in the 8th. Peeking ahead now at the bottom of the 9th. You'd hope that wasn't necessary. It'll be Walters, another pinch hitter, and Blackman. But first things first, you gotta get Lane Adams here. Runner takes off. Yankees will let him go. Ball 1. So Flaherty takes second. I give credit for a stolen base because of the competitiveness of the game. Yankees opted not to make a play on it.
About Lane Adams too with some speed, so it's going to make it a little more difficult if the ball is a rangy type of ball to, say Trevor in the hole, that he can't just go the short way after that stolen base. He's got to go all the way across the diamond.
1-2. Swung on and missed, and no, a foul ball. Wow, there was a lot of stuff going on there for a second. No foul ball.
He was saying there was no interference, and so Adams stopped running.
Two-two as we go to the bottom of the 9th. A.J. Minter, big strikeout guy. He only only other left-hander in the bullpen. We saw Sam Freeman earlier. Tony Walters is going to lead it off. And the Rockies will have to go to their bench. Either Tauchman or Valleca, though they could also go with Chris Iannetta. And they will. Did I say Pat Valleca?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Pat Valleca was used already, but Tauchman, McMahon, or Iannetta, the only three available, and the only right-handed bat is Iannetta. And Iannetta been the hottest Rocky through the first 9 days of the season. This could be interesting, and it will be. Safe at first. Tony Walters with a bunt, a head-first slide, and the Rockies have the winning run on.
Do it all, Tony. That's his name tonight.
Now you may rethink if your buddy Black, who's come out of the dugout, he's talking to Chris because it's a bunting situation.
This is a smart move from Tony. You got the lefty who falls off towards third, little pop up, and then it kisses off the grass nicely. And it kisses away from Freddie Freeman, and then like Michael Phelps diving into first base, coming off the block in the Olympics.
Anything he could do to get to the bag first. Great effort by Walters. And now Iannetta. He's been raking out of the gate. Got to think he's going to be bunting though, even though it's typically not something he does.
He did square around on that throw over. Chris has only had one sacrifice bunt in the last 4 or 5 years.
That's just, it's what's called for though here, right?
It is.
We shall see. He's swinging. Takes ball one. Then he's going to look down at Stu Cole.
Maybe they hope Chris hits one into the seats or into the gap and let Tony go.
One and one.
Chris does have 7 walk-off hits. Last time was a solo home run against Tampa Bay.
Well, with Tony at first base leading off the inning, amazingly, it's the first time tonight the Rockies have had the leadoff man aboard.
Tony read that one. He was already heading back to the bag when that throw was coming over.
Up. 2 balls and a strike on Iannetta. Always works a good and typically lengthy at bat. Way outside, 3-1. Now you put it in a little box.
Yeah, you do. You put a lot more pressure on Minter, and you know about Chris and his eye. He's not going to expand.
Tony with reasonable speed at first. Three and two. Stays alive.
And it is truly a 50-50 split for Minter against right-handers between the fastball and the slider.
Ball 4. And now the winning run is in scoring position at second with Charlie Blackmon coming up. So Buddy Black opted not to bunt and said, I trust my 35-year-old veteran to have a high quality at bat, and he did. All year long he has. He drew the walk, and now Walters is at second base. Nobody out, and now how do you handle it?
I think
Stu Cole's coming down the line.
Because it was interesting when Buddy sent Chris to the plate, he had talked to Charlie just prior to that. And I'm sure he told him exactly what he wanted to do if Chris were to reach first base. Because if Charlie gets the bunt down, then it'll be up to DJ. They're not going to let Nolan, put DJ on first to have Nolan come up to the plate with the bases loaded.
Got to put the pressure on the defense by getting that runner to third with less than 2 outs. The winning run. Then you got to pull the outfield in, the infield in. Charlie wants that bunt toward the third baseman, Flaherty. Swanson's right in the pocket, Huey, of Tony Walters, trying to give them a shot.
Yeah, but we saw the wheel play a couple days ago that with San Diego. But if you bunt it hard to the third baseman, there's nobody there. He's got to come get it and get the out at first.
And this thing's going to be caught. 1 out. And that changes everything.
Charlie tried to bunt, just dropped the barrel and got the pop-up. DJ wants to pick up his good friend.
DJ 2 hits tonight, single and a double and 4 at bats. Line drive, what a catch! Albies is going to turn it into a double play, inning over. What a play by Ozzie Albies. Off the bat, you think it's a game winner. Instead, we'll have to play extra innings at Coors Field. inning, the Rockies got a home run from Trevor Story. That made it 2-0. Atlanta would have a 2-1 deficit in the 9th inning, and this base hit by Ryan Flaherty against Wade Davis would tie it up. First blown save in a Rockies uniform for Davis. And then the Rockies had a great chance at the bottom of the 9th. DJ LeMahieu robbed of what would have won the game, turned into a double play. That play, the line drive caught by Albies. So Mike Tauchman is in center field. The Rockies double switch. Adam Ottavino's on the mound, and Blackman comes out.
Adam just needs to continue what he's done in the first 4 games. 10 strikeouts for Otto in just 5 innings.
See, I'm wondering if something happened with Charlie. Because why would he come out of the game?
You know what? On that first bunt attempt, he looked like he was shaking his finger. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. And could be seeing things.
As soon as we hear, you'll hear. 1-2. Inciarte, Albies, Freeman. Lefty, switch hitter, and of course another lefty in Freeman. And the beat goes on. Left or right doesn't matter. Adam Ottavino off to an extraordinary start.
11 strikeouts now on the year for Adam. Throwing some sliders and then goes upstairs with the fastball.
Ozzie Albies.
Boy, what a play he made against DJ.
Every time the Rockies have seen him, they haven't seen him a ton. They saw him late last year, and they've seen him so far in this series. This is a good-looking young player, and he just got plunked. Youngest player in the game at 21, and with 1 out, he goes down to first.
They did check to ask if he attempted to swing at this ball. That's what they looked at it. He's just trying to get out of the way, and that's why he ended up throwing the bat. But they did check with Nick Lentz at third base. He said no.
Rockies 3 on the right side. In the outfield, they're shaded heavily the other direction. Cargo's in right center. Tauchman is swung over toward left center. Left field, slicing away from Parra. He gets there. And Albies has to go all the way back to first. He was around second.
His helmet is laying 3 or 4 feet past second base. But he even went a couple strides after that. He had to retrace him.
Yeah, he thought this was down. This is another great route to the baseball by Gerardo Parra.
He runs over and catches it 2 steps from the foul line and then gets it back into Trevor. Watch Albies. He's like, oh, I got to go back, touch second. And Ewi's telling him to get down.
Now his leg hurts and his chest hurts. 2 outs. Markakis at the plate. 1 for 3 and a walk. Good pick up, Tony Walters. Hey, Tony's played a heck of a game behind the dish tonight.
Yes.
Which he typically does.
The bunt base hit to lead off the 9th inning. That spinning throw to get Albies early in the game.
Had a leg hit also tonight.
Adams throwing about 88 miles an hour over to first.
Partner, you took the words out of my mouth. Desi said, hey, nice throw. He tossed it back. He's like, ooh, boy, I better be ready. He's throwing 95 to the plate, 93 over the first. A strike by Markakis at 94. Rockies in the bottom of the 10th inning will have Nolan, Cargo, and Ian Desmond. Runner goes, swung on a miss, throw into center field. Albies is going to move up 90 feet. Throw sailed on Walters. So a stolen base and an E2, just the 3rd error the Rockies have committed all year. That's the fewest in baseball.
It tries to get rid of it quickly, and it just dropped the elbow over the head of Trevor by a foot. First stolen base of the year for Albies. Just in the last 2 innings, the Braves have kind of turned on the pressure machine. Trying to run and create some havoc.
1-2. Avino's focused now on getting Markakis. 2 outs.
One more pitch, Adam.
First extra inning game of the year for the Rockies.
I don't want to go through the signs again to make sure. Goes for that runner now at third with Tony if he calls the slider.
You know, there's so many fancy scoreboards now. Of course, Phil, I'm trying to find where the meeting. You get one
extra
in every extra inning.
Yeah, so they were down to 1, but since it went to the 10th, it went up to 2. But after that, it's back down to 1 mound visit left, and it's up in the right field. Below the rooftop area is where the sign is for the mound visits.
Tony's got an equipment malfunction.
One of the hooks on the strap came off. Duggar's got to put it back on. Make sure it stays, and then Tony will hook it back up.
Trainer's double is glove fixers, glove breaker ends. Is that a phrase?
Yeah, it is in baseball.
Shin guard fixers.
Repairer. Part-time psychologist.
Oh yeah.
Maybe more towards 3/4 time psychologist. For Adam, he's got to stay loose here. Kinda trying to ice the kicker. Not Tony's fault, but he's got to make sure now that when he steps back on that hill, he's knows what he wants to throw.
1-2 on Markakis. Here we go. Line drive, caught by Story. Well, Albies took a hit and the game winner away. Story keeps the Rockies even. As we go to the bottom of the 10th, this was scorched, and Trevor climbed the ladder. A cycle. Nolan drives it high and deep left field. Take a good look. You won't see it for long.
Nolan's place amongst the best players is awful high.
Guess who's coming to bat? In the bottom of the 10th inning, Nolan Arenado to face Arodys Vizcaino, the closer for Atlanta. Vizcaino, a veteran. Nolan has seen him before. 0 for 3. Takes a strike. He's got a big arm, Vizcaino. Every once in a while, he runs into some command issues. He walked 2 in his last outing.
He was a closer for Atlanta the last 2 months last year.
This is the first extra inning game at Coors Field since October of 2016. The Rockies played 5 extra inning games last year. They were all out on the road. Rockies were 2 and 3. That was the fewest extra inning games in the National League last season.
Just means it's time for the first walk-off in 2018.
Took a while last year. They had 5 walk-off wins last year. They were all, if memory serves me correctly, they were all in the second half. That's going to be out of play. Actually, come to think of it, Nolan's walk-off cycle came on Father's Day. That would be the first half. So
but still in the middle of June.
Yeah. And that was the first of the year. So Nolan 0 for 3 against Vizcaino. Cargo 1 for 3. Desmond 0 for 3.
Well, with the harder thrower Vizcaino, the Braves went back to their kind of traditional line or positioning with Albies on the second base side instead of pulling them over on the shift.
Good piece of hitting there.
Plate coverage. vintage Todd Helton, where he just foul off a pitch, knew it wasn't a strike, but close enough. Todd was a master at that.
One and two. This is looped to shallow right, but a good jump by Markakis, and he'll get the baseball. A hitting start for the Rockies, and their loss yesterday was Cargo. Home run and a triple tonight. 0 for 4 and 3 punch-outs, but he can erase those at bats with a quality AB here in the 10th to help the club. 1 out, nobody on. Antonio Senzatella tossing baseballs in the Rockies bullpen.
That was a changeup at 91.
Just keep track loosely at home, folks. Cargo does not get a lot of fastballs. Working him with off-speed stuff. That's down the line. That's fair. That's going to get into the corner. Cargo towards second. He'll have a double. Winning run in scoring position. He got a heater.
Well, that's why he didn't get many, because he hits them. That time he took the fastball. Made it reach somewhat, but Cargo has that unbelievable coverage. And then takes it down into the corner. Peter Borges played this nicely off the wall to keep Cargo just to a double.
He had a double just like that in San Diego.
Yeah, he did.
So now Ian Desmond has an opportunity with a base hit to win it. Outfield shortens up for Atlanta. Oh and 1, center cut fastball.
Dialed it up to 99.
Middle infield kind of holding their position. Cargo's going to have a sizable secondary lead. I know.
Yeah, you're not worried about.
Yeah, Vizcaíno stepped off there, but take us through where you're playing up the middle.
Well, two things. The closer's not used to throwing the bases, but you just want to have as much range as you can. You're not worried about the guy at second base. You're worried about what's happened, the action at the plate. Plus, closers don't like to throw to bases.
One out. Gonzalez at second. A 1-1 count on Desmond. We're in the 10th. Gerardo Parra will be next if necessary. Two outs. He went to the slider.
I don't think Gerardo's going to get a chance. I think they'll put him on so they can pitch to Trevor. Slider. Desi to kind of reach for that ball.
The Trevor Story will match up with 2 outs with Vizcaíno. Home run in the 4th inning.
Here it is in the 4th inning, 404 feet. This moonshot for Sanchez. Put the Rockies up at the time 2-0.
Ball one.
Get a huge secondary lead at second. So if there's a base hit, there's no problem trying to wave him.
Back-to-back sliders, and it's 1-1. Now 1-2. Rockies on 2 or 3 occasions tonight, Huey, have been a hit away from tacking on that now elusive third run. They were up 2-1 going to the bottom of the 9th. Wade Davis gave up a run. And now in the bottom of the 10th, a 1-out double by Cargo. Two outs now. And this kicks away, and it goes in. Well, it didn't go into the dugout. That would have been interesting. Wild pitch moves everybody up 90 feet.
Puts more pressure on Vizcaíno. Talk about trying to bury a slider. He buried that at 55 feet.
Again, it puts, as you said, pressure on Perez if he calls for the slider. And he buries another one. Even if you swing and miss, your story, tear down to first base. And he did call for it.
He wanted that to go through the 5-hole.
Huey, what are you telling yourself now if you're Trevor Story? 3-2, you get in the heater. I mean, he does throw close to 100.
You have to sit on the fastball. You do. And when he throws 99 miles an hour, you can't be sitting anything else. I think the big thing is you don't try to match his speed with a hard swing. I think that's what you get, the trap you fall into as a hitter, is you try to match his power with a powerful swing.
Is ball 4, and now the base is loaded for Tony Walters.
Not that at bat from Trevor. Tried to get him to fish for some sliders down. He didn't bite on it. Pitching coach Chuck Hernandez will come out. Well, you know what? Tony's had a great night. Go ahead and be the hero.
Tony, an infield hit, a walk, and then a huge bunt base hit to begin the bottom of the 9th inning. Unfortunately, the Rockies couldn't cash him in. He got to second with nobody out after Chris Iannetta pinch hitting drew a walk. Charlie Blackmon fouled out bunting, and DJ hit a missile that Ozzie Albies, the second baseman, laid out and caught. And they had the easy double up on Walters, who was already about to round third. Any kind of hit will win it. A walk, a hit batter, ball 1. I said earlier, occasionally Vizcaíno in his career will struggle with command. Behind 1-0, and there's nowhere to put Walters. And that's outside the zone. 2-0. Now you got to take.
Yes. Or go out offering encouragement. Or he might even crouch down a little bit if you're Tony. Not quite Mickey Rivers-esque, but
going to your Rondell Tapia. That's outside. 3-0. And all the heat in the world, at least in this ball game, is on the shoulders of Aradis Vizcaino. We're going to take 2 strikes. 3-0. High ball 4, ball game over. The old walk-off walk. 3-2 Colorado in 10.
What a night for Tony.
Arodas Vizcaino, a 4-pitch walk, and the Rockies find a way.
First walk-off of 2018 in the second ball game. Thinking back to a pitch by pitch. First one was a 86-mile-an-hour changeup ball, 98 fastball outside, another 98 fastball, and then finally ball 4, 98 again, up and out of the zone. Rockies are winners 3-2.
Well, you don't care how you get it done. Find a way to get it done. Let's go downstairs. Here's Ryan Spilborg. Spilly.
All right. Well, I'm trying to grab Tony right here. He's soaking wet. Soaking wet. Here you go, Tony. Your hair looks fantastic. You just cut it. It looks fantastic. Take me through tonight. He did it.
Yeah. I want some of it. Let's go.
Walk-off walk for you. You had a great night tonight. Take me through that final at bat.
You know, I was just looking for a pitch, middle of the way, something I can put over the shortstop and just get a hit. Didn't get that one, just walked. So,
how does it feel when you go running out there with all your teammates and they're throwing water on you and just knowing what type of game tonight was?
It was a long game. There was a lot of good pitching going on, good at bats. There was some short innings, but you know, we came around, got the win, got a walk. That was cool, and yeah, it was pretty cool having all the teammates come out and throw everything at you.
Tony, you made probably the best play I've ever seen, honestly, as a catcher. How do you make that play? Does that come back to being a middle infielder? I mean, nobody makes a play like that.
I don't know, I just try to get outs, you know, I don't really think about it. If I thought about it, I'd probably throw it in the stands, but yeah, I just try to get the ball as quick as possible and throw it to the base that it needs to go to.
Take me through the pitching staff tonight. You and Chad Bettis were working on a different level tonight, and then obviously the rest of the bullpen. Take me through what you guys are doing against them.
Yeah, we made a game plan, and he executed the game plan. That's the game plan we came up with, and I couldn't have asked for more for Chad. He made my job way easy. You know, he had his changeup. Command of his fastball was great. He made good adjustments with this. You know, coming back with his changeup early on, it was kind of up a little bit, and he knew he needed to make adjustments. That pitch to Freeman, he's a good hitter, you know, and Chad did a great job. And then who else came in? We got McGee, Shaw. We got the crew that came out and they did their part. You know, Wade. You know, I thought there was a couple pitches that were strikes. You know, but he's doing a great job. He works hard, and he's Wade. You know, Wade Davis. He's the man, and so he'll come back. And our guys are just doing a great job executing pitches, staying in the moment, and doing their thing.
There was 2 huge defensive plays. There was one by Albies on one side, and then Trevor Story. Take me through those plays. Just the reaction from inside the clubhouse.
Well, the first thing, you know, I was at second, you know, and I make sure to see like where all the guys are playing. And it was more middle, and I think it kind of faded back to him, but he made a heck of a play, man. And he came out of nowhere. I looked behind me when I was running. I'm like, yep, I'm double off. Like, that sucks. But yeah, he made a heck of a play. And then Story, gosh, that guy's an athlete. He jumped like 20 feet up in the air to catch that. But he's incredible out there. And he's a shortstop to watch, everyone.
Thanks, Tony. Enjoy the rest of the night. Guys, Jenny, Sully, back to you.
All right,
You got enough?
Philly, love it.
Nice job, Philly.
What a win for the Rockies. Tony just watches 4 pitches go by. That's how they win, but so much work put into the night for Tony Walters and the Rockies.
This was a really important win after last night. Not performing the way they wanted to. Tonight they got the W. We're going to show you all the highlights coming up on the Toyota Postgame Show.